Hey, Pastor Steve Waldron. I hope you're having an incredible day or night in Jesus. The other Judaisms of late antiquity. The other Judaisms of late antiquity by Segal. He is a great, prolific, encyclopedic writer. This comes from the Library of Early Christology. There's like 13 volumes in that. I recommend them, even though I don't agree with everything in there. A lot of great information in there. So it says it now includes heavenly ascent in Hellenistic Judaism, early Christianity, and their environment. So let's get started. Thanks for being here. Do check out our other videos. Join us daily. Subscribe. Hit the bell notification. And so Segal, 1945 to 211, was professor of religion and Ingeborg Rennet Professor of Jewish Studies at Barnard College. This is put out by Baylor University Press. So in the other Judaisms of late antiquity, the late Alan E. Segal. Now I want to just remind you by the title Other Judaism, it means there was a mainstream Judaism. And so many people get caught up on the other Judaisms trying to prove all kinds of weird false doctrines. Is at his very best. This reissued and expanded edition, now containing his celebrated heavenly ascent in Hellenistic Judaism, early Christianity, and the environment, delineates the variegated nature of both Judaism and Christianity in their formative periods. As Segal demonstrates, it is more accurate to speak of Judaisms and Christianities. Now, I would agree with that, even though I believe there's one Lord, one faith, one baptism, but there was a lot of heresies. Through his deft deployment of social scientific methods and due attention to Jewish primary sources from the Second Temple period, Segal is able to trace the intricate, intermediate struggles among Jewish, Christian, and Gnostic communities in the earliest days of the Common Era. In doing so, Segal masterfully validates the importance of inductive historical reconstruction and analytical comparative study for illuminating the complex religious world of the first 3 centuries. So let's get started. I got so many places turned down in here. Okay, so I'm just going to start by reading a table of contents. So, dualism in Judaism, Christianity, and Gnosticism, a definitive issue. Number 2 is about the rule of the world. And then 3, Hellenistic magic, some questions of definition. 4, the sacrifice of Isaac in early Judaism and Christianity. 5, Torah and names in recent scholarly discussion. I said Torah and names, it's nomos, excuse me, my eyes. 6, covenant in rabbinic writings. 7, Romans 7 and Jewish dietary laws. Then part 2, theoretical considerations, the cultural background of ascension in the Hellenistic world. 2, ascension in Hellenistic Judaism. 3, ascension in martyrdom, ascension in early Christianity. 4, some aspects of late Hellenistic ascension, Gnosticism. And then bibliography, primary sources, modern author index. So maybe we'll go through some of that bibliography too. So one of the things I found interesting in here, it goes that Philo knows the issue of a second God and the themes of justice and mercy suggests a possible origin well before the birth of Jesus. But Philo's writings suggest more than a continuous issue. Now, so he's talking about sometimes they would speak about a second God. This was in early Judaism and in early Christianity, like origin. But I obviously don't believe that. I believe there's one God. He's got other things about Philo and the second God. Why does Scripture say, as if speaking of another God, in the image of God made he man, and not in his own image? He goes on. He believes that second God is appropriate and a fitting title, but criticizes those who cannot distinguish between the original God and the angelic copy. So, boy, you could just go there all day because the angel is presence and all this kind of stuff. Still don't think it's second God at all. Now, let's look at this. The transformation of values seen in Nag Hammadi is not limited to the third century when Gnosticism was already full grown, and that's a study in of itself I need to do. The story of this arrogance of the demiurge was known to the early church fathers. It's reported in Irenaeus, and he's writing in the 2nd century, late 2nd century. Hippolytus, that'd be early 3rd century, and Epiphanius, and that would be 4th century, I think, indicating the process of transvaluing Judaism to create an evil demiurge in contrast to the saving grace of the Gnostic Redeemer was already underway in the middle of the 2nd century. Within the Palestinian community, with its many sects, polemics for monotheism were used in a variety of ways. Paul seems to use anti-two powers polemic against Jews whom he charged with venerating angels, while he himself could have been charged with identical crime by rabbinic Jews in Galatians 3. See, to me, that's extremely important that Paul is writing against to God language. And then this entire section on Hellenistic magic, to me, is just fascinating. I really can't even get started and do it justice. So let's turn back here to the bibliography. And you can usually just find so many good stuff in here. Like James Adams' Republic of Plato. So much of it is written in German. A lot of it. Apostolos Athleticus, the Orphic Hymns text, translate notes, Missoula, Montana scholars, B.W. Bacon, The Ascension in Luke and Acts, Ian Barber, Myths, Models, and Paradigms, C.K. Barrett, he's good, Things Sacrificed to Idols, H.W. Barch, Kerygma and Myth, Kerygma is just apostolic preaching, Richard Bauckham, good as well, The Martyrdom of Enoch and Elijah. That's the martyrdom of these guys. But I mean, Oscar Coleman, fantastic. Immortality of the Soul on Resurrection of the Dead. Immortality of the Soul or Resurrection of the Dead. But I find so much in bibliographies and other books to buy and ways to study and on and so forth. So, wow. Primary index sources, primary authors. Oh, I forgot to say how many pages it was. So it's about, with all that, it's almost 300 pages, like 287. Before you get to the bibliography, I think it's 250 something pages. I'm wrong on that. It is 200 and, well, maybe I'm not wrong on that. I think I was just misreading that. 252 pages. So other Judaisms of late antiquity, wealth of knowledge, if you want to really immerse yourself in what was really going on. So much of even what's taught in college classes is all narrative. And as we know, narratives are so often incorrect. You have to get down what was really going on, be immersive. God bless. We love you. Bye-bye.